What I just did? You know what I just did? I've been doing all this talking, and I forgot to hit the unmute button on Rumble. So let's try this again. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Sticks-n-Stones. It's going to be a great episode. I know you're going to love it. You know, maybe we have technical issues worked out, maybe we don't, but it is a beautiful day the Lord has made. That is for true. That is for true. And I have an absolutely wonderful pairing for you today. I think I'm doing this better the second time around. I am pairing Knob Creek Blenders Edition 1 with an Arturo Fuente Don Carlos Belicoso size Vitola. If you saw my short yesterday on the Blenders Edition 1, I was very impressed, especially at this price point. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. I'll go ahead and use some of the language I used before I figured out I was on mute. And that is that this is one of those like very like easy, no fussy stuff kind of combinations. It just works. Nothing like, really crazy. It's just everything just works together perfectly. So let's go ahead and get started. So probably already lost a bunch of people already. Knob Creek Blenders Edition 1. Trying not to knock my wired microphone off for the Instagram people. This is a Kentucky straight bourbon. It is aged a minimum of 10 years. I'll get a little more into this as we're going along because you're going to be like, what? It is 53% alcohol by volume, so 106 proof. It's got a pretty good little hit behind it, right? 750 milliliter bottle. I got mine at Specs, and they had like a half a dozen of them on the shelf. They were $39.99. $39.99 for a 10-year-old bourbon. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly was my response. I'm like, what? I saw a guy post something. He said he had bought his for $48.99, and I'm like, well, that's about $10 more than what I paid for it, but you were still getting a great deal. So, anyway, as you can see, that is just a beautiful spirit in the glass. I mean, you can't get much more naturally like copper colored than that is right there. It's just beautiful. It's got those deep kind of reddishy orange hues to it. Just little hints of gold right around the edge of the glass as the light hits it. And it's got a great set of legs. And I love legs. Just ask Mr. Sticks-n-Stones. All right. Anyway, on the nose. There's no 106 proof. I mean, 106 proof. There's no alcohol burn on the nose at all. What you do get is this like rich confectionery like sweetness, like powdered sugar or something like that, with these very prominent notes of vanilla bean, maybe some caramelized brown sugar. You know, like when they put brown sugar on something, and then they take one of those little torches and they, you know, uh, the same kind of thing, right? It's that kind of burnt sugar, but not burnt in a bad way. Just those wonderful, sweet, dark notes. I mean, wow. All right, now let's see. I get like toasted marshmallows. So again, you're getting that kind of toasted effect. There's a nice warm oak kind of in the background, some subtle almond, and then just like a hint of caramel kind of swirling throughout. All right, here we go. That has a wonderful, wonderful viscousy kind of mouthfeel to it. I get some great notes of butterscotch and maybe some like maple syrup with a little bit of baking spices in there, kind of the cinnamon nutmeg kind of thing. Um, there's a subtle nuttiness to it, um, and kind of more like almonds, possibly getting into like roasted peanuts. Um, and then there's a little bit of kind of gentle char going on there in the background. Um, Also layered in some vanilla and toffee. It's great. It's wonderful. Let's have another sip. Mm. The finish is very long. I mean, it just slowly dies away. Still tasting it. Still tasting it. Still tasting it. Um, it's long, but it's soft, kind of velvety. There's this lingering sweetness, some dark caramel, some toasted oak, and just this very subtle, but there kind of burn going down your throat. Just a little bit of pepper there, just let you know, hey, I'm 106 proof. Overall, this is a kind of a sweeter, smoother profile for Knob Creek. More like dessert leaning, but balanced with a nice kind of oaky backbone to it. Um, it's probably one of the best bourbons I've tried in a while. Like ones I've never had, like a new one. It's a really good bourbon. You folks at Knob Creek, you know how to do it right. I still haven't seen myself come up on YouTube. At That's kind of worrisome. Uh, I hope I'm getting out there, buddy. But now we're just going to go ahead and push ahead while I continue to mess with this on the side. The Arturo Fuente Don Carlos. It's probably one of his, I would think, probably one of his best selling sticks. I, Anybody that smokes cigars recognizes the Don Carlos, you know, and you could have some out there that are more highbrow or, whatever, but just as far as one that everybody recognizes, that might be it right there. Um, but This is the Belicoso. It is 5 3/8 by 52 torpedo. And I believe it was Rocky Patel that said this. Um, he said that um, the torpedoes are the ones. Hey, I can see myself on YouTube, so we're doing good. I wonder if I can hear myself. Yep, I can. All right, we're running on all cylinders now. He said the torpedo shape, those vitolas are only given to the most experienced rollers on the floor. So if you are smoking a torpedo, you are torpedo style, which is this style. You are, and it could even be the perfectos too, that in double perfecto that get skinny at each end, whatever. But you are getting the absolute best craftsmanship in the facility. So stay with torpedoes, right? That's what I got out of it. Now, this is Dominican Republic filler aged that includes 10-year-old select tobaccos from Chateau Fuente. People know Arturo Fuente, recognize that term. The filler, the binder is Dominican Republic, and sorry, the cameras are at different heights here, so I have to do this. Um, the wrapper is an African Cameroon. Of course, the origin is Dominican Republic. That's where AF does their business out of. We'll go ahead and give it a little cut. I am using my Cigarism guillotine cut or guillotine cutter uh, torpedoes. You can V cut them. It works. But the bellicose torpedo, whatever you want to call it, that style. A guillotine works probably better than anything else. So, and this is Cigarisms. I love the red color. Now that enamel red, and it has cutouts in the cutter to have less surface area impacting the cigars as you're cutting them. I love this thing. Anytime I'm doing a guillotine cut, that's the one I go for. You can you can find them at Cigarism, Cigarism. Back when I had an Amazon store, you could find them there. But Amazon got to the point where I couldn't make any kind of profit on anything that had anything to do with smoking cigars. So I just like screw it, shut it down. All right, on the nose. You get some wonderful notes of sweet cedar, roasted nuts, kind of a toasty, warm bread, some subtle cocoa in there, um, a little bit of woodiness, not cedar, more like oak kind of thing, and then just a touch of baking spice. On the cold draw, you get more wood and cedar up front, um, with a hint of kind of a cocoa sweetness, just a little spark of spice in there, and some really nice, subtle, sweet tobacco and vanilla undertones. That's a great cigar. I love this cigar. This is one that even though I can't afford to keep many of them, I mean, these are like $12, $15 a stick. I always keep three or four or five in my humidor all the time because I love them. And that's not, I mean, if you're buying Padron 64s or Padron 26s, something like that, I mean, you're paying $20 a stick. Maybe uh, Placencia, like, uh, one of their cigars may go for, $29. I get the other day. Oh, I brought an Arturo Fuente Opus X, a couple of them for pairing episode a few weeks back, and they were $39 a stick. Hey, 12 to 15 doesn't seem too bad. But I get these. I buy them in a 5 pack. Not very many places you can find them in a 5 pack, but I know where. And so I always try to keep a 5 pack, at least part of a 5 pack around. Starts getting low. I think I've got 3 more left now in this one. I'll order some more. That is such a wonderful smoke, man. If you've never tried this cigar, you need to try it. You're missing out. I mean, AF, they're some of the best in the business, if not the best in the business. Some of that's subjective, but for me, yeah, not just a huge smoke producer, but a nice volume of smoke coming off of it. I get some really nice notes of cedar and oak, kind of forward up front, like on the cold draw. Then some roasted nuts, but this would be more like maybe chestnuts and almonds. No, not the peanutty kind of nut. Um, there's some espresso and coffee layered in there with some not leather, a little subtle cocoa, some earthiness, and then just this nice, smooth, clean, woody finish. Well, hit it with a single torch. Just kind of, there were some little spots in it that I thought weren't lit well enough. It's got a really nice retro hail to it. Um, that's got a little bit of citrus in it, maybe some like lemon zest, and a little more cedar and leather. Not really any spice. Uh, this is a very smooth cigar, going with a very smooth spirit. So that's what you're all here for, right? You want to see them both together. So let's go ahead and give it to you. This combo, it's like money in the bank. The bourbon's big vanilla and caramel sweetness plays perfectly off the cigar's kind of cedar nutty backbone. You take that sip and the puff, the Don Carlos's espresso and roasted chestnut notes uh, deepen the bourbon's kind of brown sugar and toasted oak without overpowering that kind of softer confectionery side of the spirit. The baking spice in both really kind of harmonize together exceptionally well. Yet, cinnamon and nutmeg from the cigar, echoing that bourbon's kind of gentle spiciness. The 106 proof heat on the spirit cuts through the cigar's creaminess just enough to keep things lively and dancing. Um, while that cigar's natural sweetness, the magic that is that Cameroon wrapper, rounds out any of the sharper edges in the whiskey. So, I mean, there you go. It's a little damp out here today. I think I'm having a little trouble keeping her lit. Mm, there we go. Much better. This is a wonderful, wonderful pairing. We're going to see how they keep going together, but it's a good one. It really is. I am very happy I jumped on that Blenders edition when I did. There was another one of the big whiskey purveyors, distillers here a while back that tried to do these Blenders edition things, and I tried a few of them, and they were good, but you know, it wasn't anything that was like spectacular or mind blowing. This is really good though. I think if people said enough about it, they might end up trying to keep this as a regular offering. Because you're talking a 10-year-old spirit at 106 proof, and you're getting it for $40, and it's Knob Creek. I mean, we're not talking about something you maybe never heard of. That's a little more what I was expecting as far as smoke output. It was uh, it was a little light on the smoke. Yeah, it's just it rained last night so hard. I mean, there's still water standing around the house. Uh, it rained a lot, um, and so it's kind of cloudy. Air's still kind of damp. Takes a little extra to get the cigar really pumping really good. Like as I said earlier, there's just great construction on the stick, exactly what you would expect from an Arturo Fuente. It's got that nice kind of medium brown, uh, maybe kind of a milk chocolate brown, maybe not quite that dark. Uh, there are I had to show it to both cameras. There are some fairly prominent veins throughout the stick, but other than those three or four prominent veins, there's really not a lot of veining that you can see. The seams are tight but visible. It is just an exceptionally constructed spirit. Nice roll. It's firm with a little bit of give to it. It's what you want. You don't want like spongy, but you don't want hard as a rock either. And turn that around where there we go. That's better. Nice ash stack starting to build up on that. Very nice. This is going to be a wonderful weekend. I can already tell. Howdy. One of my phones has got the beeper on. I don't know which one it is. If y'all saw what I had going on here, you know, I've smoked the Don Carlos many times. I did a short yesterday on the Knob Creek Blenders edition. Of course, I always do my my test smoke. So I have my regular iPhone, my daily iPhone, with Rumble that goes to X and to YouTube, and then I've got my old Samsung that's from 2 phones ago with Instagram on it. And then I have in between those, between getting rid of the Samsung and getting this new iPhone, there was another iPhone there in the middle. It's down here that's got me playing on YouTube on it, so I can see and hear, know that I'm actually getting out and broadcasting to people. And then I have my iPad set up here with all my notes on it. It's a lot going on. And then I have the Vizio here on the No Shoes Bar and Grill patio on Vizio's free screensaver things, whatever those are, where they play nice little kind of jazz music in the background, nice nature scenes or whatever. Just really gets you into that kind of spirit, you know? I really do love this cigar. I really do. It is definitely in my top 5. Um, I have to say that my number one really leaned toward, I don't know, it's kind of a toss up between this and the Le Aroma de Cuba Noblesse. I really love that cigar. That's an awesome cigar. And then you have to throw, the San Cristobal Revelation in there, Rocky Patel 60. And then I have to throw in, I know a lot of the purists are like, ah, but I have to throw in, like the Java Red from Drew Estate. It's kind of a coffee infused, I know. Uh, but that's one of those that it's just great to sit down and have a smoke. You can drink coffee with it. You can have you can have a whiskey with it, or rum with it, whatever. Um, Espresso martini goes really well. I've tried that one before. And then probably in that next 5 would get into a lot of the things that I would probably smoke on a more regular basis, uh, because they are more economical. So Macanudo Orange Label is my number one like that. I've got 2 boxes of Macanudo Orange Labels, probably a box and a half. I've already smoked half one box. Um, and I'll buy a box of those. Ended up with 2 boxes of them. I stumbled upon some great deals. But yeah, uh, Arturo Fuente, the Fuente family, they know what they're doing. While we're just chilling, uh, for those that may have joined a little late, I am pairing Knob Creek Blenders Edition number 1 with an Arturo Fuente Don Carlos Belicoso Vitola. This Knob Creek Blenders Edition is fairly new out. It's only been around for a few weeks, maybe a few months. Uh, I stumbled upon it at Specs here in McKinney, the great state of Texas, a couple of weeks ago. I bought it at the same time I bought the Penelope Rio. I walked in. I working from home that day, and I had seen on Facebook a post that had been like 8 minutes previous saying well, he didn't say it, but I could see 3 bottles. He was taking a picture of the table where they had all the allocated stuff out there, and I could see 3 bottles of the Penelope Rio back there. And he said, "You can have 1 bottle off this table of anything." So I got off about an hour later, drove over there. There was 1 bottle of the Rio left, and so I was just wandering around, seeing if there's anything else. and they had like 6 bottles of the Knob Creek Blenders Edition just sitting on the shelf, $39.99. So I walked out of there with some Penelope Rio, which I'd been trying to get for a couple of years, and this Knob Creek. I think I had a great day that day because the Rio is wonderful, and this is wonderful too. It is aged a minimum of 10 years. It's 106 proof, 53% alcohol by volume. As I said, I got it for $39.99. I saw somebody that paid $48.99 for it. If you're paying somewhere under $50 before tax or whatever, you're doing well. They charge you more if you're using your debit card, I mean your credit card, or something like that. All that kind of stuff. You're paying less than $50, you're getting a great deal on a 10-year-old spirit. It's got some really great notes of confectioner's sugar, that kind of sweetness, some just exploding notes of vanilla bean and toasted marshmallow and caramelized brown sugar. You get a little bit of almond, a little bit of caramel. It's all on the nose. On the palate, it's got this great viscousy kind of mouthfeel to it with butterscotch and maple syrup, some baking spices, uh, more nuttiness on the palate, the almonds, and maybe some roasted peanuts. There's a little bit of char in there, and then layered underneath is some more vanilla and toffee. It's got a nice long velvety finish that really hangs on with more sweetness, dark caramel, toasted oak, and just a little bit of burn all the way down. It's awesome. Uh, the Don Carlos uh, is a Dominican. It's a product of the Dominican Republic, naturally, Arturo Fuente. It has Dominican 10-year aged tobaccos, including those from Chateau Fuente, which is the cream of the cream in tobacco leaves for Arturo Fuente. And then it's Dominican Republic binder and an African Cameroon wrapper. This is a medium to medium full cigar. The nose gave me sweet cedar, roasted nuts, like warm bread, subtle cocoa, a nice little woodiness to it, and then just a touch of baking spice. Uh, the palate is sweet cedar and oak up front, with some really great notes of espresso and coffee. Then there's some leather and a little bit of cocoa and earth, and then kind of just a clean woody finish and a really nice creamy smoke to it. Wonderful, and they are exceptional together. Man, I did all that in less than 30 minutes. We're doing pretty well. I won't keep you around a long time. I mean, it's Easter weekend. You got things to do. Huh. I got a 15-pound brisket behind you back there smoking. I started at, what time is it now? I started at about 12 o'clock. It's got to smoke for 23 hours. My timer on the smoker only goes to 12. So I'm going to have to redo it. It's going to be a great Easter lunch tomorrow afternoon. It's late, 3 o'clock. So I don't know. Not really lunch. It's not really dinner. Maybe it's a dunch or dinner, whatever. Those really nice stacks of ash, but I do have one hanger out there. I can knock him off without knocking everything off. Yep, I did. So, man, y'all just don't know what you're missing. But I tell you what, it's Easter. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the rest of your day back. Me, I'll go ahead and kind of tell you how this goes because I've already done this once. Um, Hang on, let me get a drink. I actually enjoy keeping y'all around, you know? um, I'm gonna tap. No, I'm not supposed to do that, but I know it'll fall in my lap. As you go on through the pairing, the Don Carlos will pick up a touch of dark fruit and leather that makes the bourbons kind of sweeter notes pop even more, almost like you're almost getting like a maraschino cherry or something like that out of it, even though that's not what you got in the beginning. But that's what happens when you start pairing cigars and spirits together. As you go through the smokes, um, you get things as the cigar changes that affects the spirit. Um, there's no muddling or clash. It's just a smooth and harmonious ride from start all the way to the nub. The smoke time on the Belicoso is going to be like 50 to 60 minutes. We're not even quite to the halfway mark yet, and I lit the cigar at about 5 or 10 minutes in. It's probably more like 10 minutes in because I did the first 5 minutes without the volume on Rumble. So, but it did get better. I managed to pull out a good one. Um, this is a classic, like crowd pleasing kind of pairing that highlights the sweeter profile of the Blender's Edition without it getting lost. If you like bourbon that's a little more on the desserty side, there's my rescue. Yeah, you can, that hound dog kind of bark. That's him. There's no hound dog in him though. Um, um, and your cigars refined and a little nutty with some good cedar notes in it. You put these two together. It's reliable. It's delicious, and it's the kind of pairing that'll just keep you coming back again and again. Telling you, I would give this pairing like 89, 90 out of 100, something like that. Uh, the Don Carlos is a perennial 90 plus in that category. Um, and I would definitely buy both of these again. Like I said, I keep 3 or 4 of the Don Carlos in my humidor all the time, and I'm definitely going to be keeping. I've got four different bottles of Knob Creek, and I love them all. But this is excellent, excellent at 106 proof. Um, and so if you get the opportunity to buy a bottle of this Knob Creek, it is one of those that you'll see videos where they're talking about the best bourbons on the bottom shelf or whatever, and they talk about these great prices like Early Times. You can get a fifth of Early Times for like $20. I know the new square bottle is supposed to be terrible because they've changed what they do. But if you can find the old round bottle with either the blue or the black top on it, the black top is supposed to be the best. I haven't seen one. I do have a blue top, and it's really good. Same kind of thing. $40, maybe 50, depending on where you are. And it is an excellent, excellent spirit. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, ring all the bells, blow all the whistles, all that kind of stuff. Tell your friends about it. Leave me comments. I love comments. I love hearing what you have to say, even though I can't really keep up with it while we're in the show. I have a hard enough time seeing as it is, and really can't see all the little anything that people might be showing, saying or anything on any of these phones from this distance. But I do love hearing, and I reply back to everybody. I sometimes it may take a while, but I do. Uh, but until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold, and have a great day.